Hey, welcome once more to the No One Warned You podcast, the podcast where we have no fluff conversations about the things you should know, whether you're starting a business or you want to grow your business. And today, here with me, I have Michael Glazer from Premier Services, and he has created and founded a great company. If you haven't heard about it, go back to the first episode because he shares his story and how he ended up doing what he do. If you don't want to go there, you're probably going to still understand what he does. So anyway, in this episode here, we're going to talk about nobody will pay you what you think your business is worth. And Michael, thanks for being here with us once more.
Thank you very much for having me. So I guess I don't have to describe my journey again. People could go to episode 1 for that. Is that it? Or do you want the 15-second introduction?
Give them the 15 seconds. It's always good, right?
All right, perfect. Yeah, so what I do is I founded a company 35 years ago that started as a school project, but has still gone on 35 years later. And what we do is we do mystery shopping, merchandising, brand ambassadors. We support hotels, restaurants, car dealerships, retail stores, banks by doing mystery shopping undercover in the stores or arranging their displays all across the US and Canada. We started off in Canada. And 2 years ago, we opened an office here in the US. So that's what we do. And
Michael, we can see by your story in your career that you're very successful in business. Well, the thing right now is people, business gurus are always saying, hey, build a business you can sell. But you've been in business and specifically this business for 35 years and you've had offers and you keep saying no. And why do you keep saying no?
what else am I going to do with my life? I mean, my house is pretty clean. The cars are spotless. If I didn't do this, it's like, what the heck am I going to do? So that's why I'm still here, I guess. I am a lawyer by profession, and I definitely don't want to practice again. So mystery shopping it is. That's the truth.
And what do you think about this idea of building something to sell? Is it the right goal? Is it a good goal, or what are your takes on that?
I think it's probably the right goal. You hear a lot of that. Start a business, build it up, sell it. Take it and do a new one, build it up, sell it. That's probably the smart thing to do if you are looking simply to make money. Build and sell, build and sell. Like, you know what it is? Here, this is a great analogy. You have people who flip homes, right? They buy a house,
Mhm.
they renovate it, do whatever, and then they sell it for hire. And they go again and again. No emotional attachment to the house whatsoever. It's just a financial transaction. It so happens that the business that I'm in, there is an emotional attachment, a passion about it. I really enjoy what we do. I love working with the clients. I like the meetings with the team. I enjoy it. It's wonderful. So unlike the house flipper, that's probably going to make a lot more money than someone who buys a house and keeps it for 30 years. It'll still increase in value, of course, but the love of that second person's house, with doing renovations and all that jazz, you kind of can't compare. So it's two different ways of looking at things. Build a business for decades and decades, or buy one and sell one. Buy one and sell one. Is there a right way of working? Maybe not. But I think if you want more money, probably buy and sell, buy and sell. Truth be told. But there's more to life than money. Come on. So yeah.
There's definitely more, and I think you're touching a deeper point here, which is purpose. So, if I heard it right, then one of the reasons you're not selling your business is because you at a level feel very fulfilled. You like what you do, and there is a purpose in it. Did I hear it right?
Absolutely. And the relationships with the clients, some of my best friends are all clients or former clients. That's the way it is because we work together very closely, whether it's mystery shopping or what have you. So my best friends are, the clients. So if I were to just shut it down and go do something else, I mean, that would be a shame. Look, some people don't enjoy what they do, and it's understandable. A lot of business owners and people who work in business, they don't like it. They dread Monday morning. They dread when their cell phone rings. In that case, yeah, maybe it's time to move on. If you're an owner, sell it. If you're working there, find a new job. But if you really enjoy it, like it's find a person who enjoys their job and they never work a day in their life. That's how I look at it.
Well, I'm also curious here, Michael, and definitely purpose is a great driver for human behavior. So if we feel there's a purpose on what we're doing, and I'm quite sure that in 35 years down this road, there's been moments where you probably didn't feel so much fulfilled or motivated, and how did you deal with those ups and downs that you have? How have you managed it so that you kept going?
I hate to be a lousy interviewee, but I don't have any negative things to say. I really don't. The one thing I don't like is every couple of years we get audited by the government up in Canada, the CRA. We just came to the US, so the IRS hasn't bugged us yet, but we get these audits. Now, we keep the books very clean, so it's not a stressful thing, it's not a panic thing, but it's just so much work preparing for an audit, being interviewed, having the guy, we all work from home. So for 6 months, the auditor's in my basement doing his stuff. That is the one thing that's not enjoyable. They're all nice guys. We get along, whatever. I've never had an issue. But that's the one thing when I get that letter in the mail, like, oh, here we go again. That's not fun. But aside from that, thinking of my day to day, yesterday I was at my desk at about 6 a.m., shut down at 11 p.m. It was an enjoyable day. There's nothing that I really didn't like or dreaded. So I have to say there really aren't no have yet to be downs. Things during the pandemic, things slowed down, because restaurants and stores were all closed in a lot of places. So that was a slow time. That wasn't fun. But that aside, it's been pretty good so far, and I hope it doesn't change.
And would you say it's more of something of your personality or not? And what I'm thinking here is because you didn't start this business because you had this idea of, oh, I think this business is going to fulfill me. It was just a school project, or maybe I'm oversimplifying and you had other things in mind. But I'm trying to understand here, when you first came with this idea, did you imagine that it would be so fulfilling for you to actually do it?
I always had a love for entrepreneurship. I always liked that, even as a young child. And what drove me was actually back in the day, we had a successful family business, my grandfather. And as it so happened, when he got older and older, my father kind of got a little bit shafted in the family business. And as a child, that upset me. I was like, oh, that's not fair. How could I do that to daddy? That's not fair. So that was my driver for saying, well, you know what? I'm going to start my own thing. I'm going to, do and never treat my kids the way my dad got, shafted there. So that was a big driver. And you often hear that story from entrepreneurs that there was something that happened when they were young that drove them to say, okay, I'm going to try something on my own. And I think that was the driver that led me to taking a course in entrepreneurship. And from there came the business plan. So it's the childhood thing of, I got to make this right. I want to have my own thing now. And then came the schooling, then came the business plan, then came the business. So I think that was the journey. But you're right. Yeah, you nailed it.
And would you say that virtually, then, if you had started any other business, you would probably feel as fulfilled or not?
Yeah, yeah. It's my personality. It's my nature. I mean, I was born with the happiness gene, I guess. It's like I can't help it. It's not fair. I'm always smiling. So I guess no matter what it is, I could be going selling tacos on the side of the sea, on the side of the sea. Okay, let's have fun doing that. Let's sell some tacos, or it could be mystery shopping, or although practicing law, I don't think would be fun. But in general, it really, I think when you look at any business, or not just any business, but any organization, it's the people, on top, the ones who set the strategy, the ones who set the goals, they really determine the way things work. If you have a miserable old person, as your manager or as the CEO, whoever it is, chances are you're going to be a little bit miserable as well. But you have someone who's funny, who's having a good time, who enjoys what he or she does. It hopefully trickles down. Now, you can ask my staff; they might disagree and say, "Oh no, I hate working for." I don't think so though. We do enjoy what we're doing. So it is a reflection, I think, of the the people, the leaders, the managers, the entrepreneurs, I do think there's a definite correlation between their personalities and the organization as a whole. Absolutely.
Definitely. By your story and what you do, Michael, I can see that you're a very purpose driven man. And tell us about your I wouldn't. It's not a work, but your activities as a volunteer firefighter.
Yeah, that's what I do. I was a volunteer medic up in Montreal for many years, moved down to Tennessee, and right near my house, there's a fire station, volunteer fire station. I said, oh, my, let me check this out. Got in touch with them and joined the ranks. And yeah, I had a big fire last night, actually. I'm a little bit tired today. It was late at night. All good. I like to look at my Apple Watch and see my pulse rate during these things. It's like 160, 165. So yeah, it's very enjoyable. I figure I'm putting out fires all day in my business. Might as well put fires out, in real life. It's nice. It is, especially being a volunteer firefighter. The community very, very appreciative. No matter what happens, a car on fire, someone sick, a building on fire, the thank yous, the thank you for your service, a lot of respect and a mutual respect for this type of thing. And I think it's wonderful.
And I'm gonna tap into something that I believe is connected with that is, and it is, so if you're firefighting, then you gotta have someone uh, running your business. And how do you balance that out?
Well, I first of all, because we all work from home, and it's funny because we always did work from home. When I started the business in 91, 92, working from home was unheard of. And we had to overcome a big hurdle because you're calling up a company, a new potential client, and they ask for your address, and it's a residential street in my suburb in my parents' basement. It's like, oh shoot. Nowadays, it's the opposite. Now it's like everyone loves to work from home. People don't want to go back to work. So it's just funny the way that trend has shifted. And instead of trying to hide it and get a mailing address like we did back at the beginning of the business, now we emphasize it. Meet a new client, say, hey, we also charge lower prices than most because of our low overhead. We're a virtual company. We all work from home. I look at my core 5 people. I'm in Tennessee, one's in Montreal, one's in the UK, one's in Quebec City, and two in Quebec City. So yeah, so it's amazing. Oh, what in BC, British Columbia, up in Canada. So being a virtual company gives you the flexibility. On the one hand, you're always working. When I came back from that fire call last night, you better believe I had 13, 14 emails to do, but yet I was able to go for a couple hours. And I think that's the same for anyone on my team. Is people could say, okay, guys, I'll be gone for a couple hours now. Okay. And if you have a good systems and good processes and good procedures, people could leave, people could take time off, and things will still get done.
And this is one of our goals here, just to teach our audience and watchers, listeners, just how to create businesses that run without them. Michael, I'm gonna go back to the start, and when we were talking about your business, and you share that your business is almost all goodwill and few assets.
Yeah, pretty much. Uh,
And what does that mean for what it's worth?
in terms of valuation, well,
Yeah.
basically, I mean, when you're evaluating a business, I mean, the number one thing are really the assets, the fixed assets. You have factories and buildings and a fleet of cars, and when you sell them, you could be a garage or a restaurant or a factory. You want to sell the business. Okay, the building is worth 2 million, and the cars are worth 500,000, and yes, there's goodwill in there as well. With our business, because it's virtual, the assets are well, I got this microphone, which was expensive, and I got 4 monitors in front of me, but that's really it for the asset. So if someone comes in to evaluate this company, there is no prime building that we have in the middle of some industrial complex or a great storefront. No, it's really most of what this business is. It's the goodwill, the name that we have built up with our clients in the retail industry. That is what this is worth, in my opinion. Well, not my opinion, it's true. We've had the business valuated before, and that's the biggest asset is the 35 years, the great relationships, and that's pretty much it.
Well, I guess you just gave someone here who might be listening, if they want to create a business with value, if they're thinking on private equity and then selling it, you just gave them the key.
There you go. There you go.
Michael, final question before we wrap up this episode. Let's say you found someone who want to buy your business and they want to pay you way more than you ever expected, and so if you sold your business tomorrow, what would you actually do with your life?
That's a very. I have not thought that far in advance. I'm scared to. I've purposely haven't thought that far in advance because if something happened tomorrow, whatever, good or bad, business closed, I sold it, whatever, what have you. I would. Well, I know playing hockey is not going to happen anymore. Don't want to be a professional firefighter. So I guess I have no idea. How's that for an answer? I have no idea.
Well, I think
Sorry.
it's great. It's great because it's honest, and that's what we want. We don't want business people just using some kind of makeup and making it look it's all cool and it's all flowers and it's all fluffy. And no, 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 that's what we like here, Michael. And by the way, thank you so much for being here today. Such a pleasure to learn from you and hear your story and your experience.
Well, thank you for having me. It was a fun conversation. Thanks a lot.
And for everyone watching or listening here, thanks again for being with us. We still have one more episode, so check it out, and I see you there. Bye bye.